I'm I'm going to restart my Audacity and clap and start the recording from there because I think all of this is not needed.
I mean, you're right.
Oh, fine. I thought Nico was like, all right, we're live. All right, I'm gonna clap. I'm clapping.
Oh, Nico, I don't think we were muted.
Oh shit, really? Oh crap.
Zorine coming to you live from beautiful sunny Southern California, and Slasher all the way from New York City. Guys, how you doing?
Zorine is looking much manlier than usual right now.
Oh nope. Apparently not. Just as you said that, things shifted. Woof! Surprise! It's a magic trick. Everyone.
They just got so much.
Did you like
worse.
it? Did you like my magic trick?
I was really digging your look right there, Zorine. I thought you're pretty hot. You're pretty fucking hot there.
Wow! Thank you. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you too, Slasher. You too. Looking real attractive. So attractive. Definitely the most attractive person in esports. Top 10 for sure.
We
should make that our next video.
Sure. Top 10 for sure.
Top 10.
You heard it here, ladies. All three of you in chat. You can hit my DMs up after.
They are open. Yes. And shout outs.
They are open.
Shout outs to XSplit for powering this podcast. We got Nico on the ones and twos, having a trouble-free and technical difficulties-free day today here in Manila. And of course, thanks to Blue Microphones for providing this sweet audio gear that sort of lets me talk like this. And makes Slasher a little bit easier to digest on the ears.
You cannot compete with me, okay? As much as you want to try with your new little microphone over there, there's no way you'll ever be able to match my baritone, okay? Not up here or down there.
Okay, I won't even try.
You can bait this Jew voice. All right.
Mm-hmm. No.
Can't do
no,
it.
Definitely
No.
Definitely not.
There is a certain annoyance that happens that only I can do, and none of you can really compete with just how nauseating this sound is.
I do my best, though. You'll always be number one in that department, Rod. Don't you worry. You got it on lock. Definitely not top 10.
Thank you. Not top 10 at all.
Definitely number one. And of course, if you want to listen to this show on demand, you can check it out on iTunes and Spotify. Just search for the Untitled Esports Show until, of course, we switch it over and rebrand the whole thing, which is coming at some point. Anyways, a lot of stuff to cover on the agenda today, because that's how we run things now. I've been in meeting after meeting after meeting. and now we have agendas. So, first up, unless there's any sort of other housekeeping things that we got to cover, of which probably I'm forgetting. Aside from maybe just asking you guys how you guys are doing, but
should be asking us how we're doing. What the hell? Where's your, passion into like what's been going on in my life for the last week? I want to know what's
first
been
off,
going
Rod,
in your
first
life
off,
this
Rod,
last week. I'm
first
really
off, Rod,
interested.
I know
I want to make sure that everything's going.
I actually feel like I know what's going on in your personal life, and that's why I don't bring it up on the show.
Boom! Ouch!
You trying to say my hand has been like getting more action than usual? Okay, I mean, like I am, getting there, as you can see, obviously, Ryan. But I can assure you, the right and left hands are still like almost equal.
Okay, one for the left and one for the right. Every day.
Yeah, every day.
Keeps the doctor away.
It does. It does.
What are you talking about?
From all the depression.
Talk about it's a bad masturbation joke. Zorine, how your hands? Your hands get more action.
Yeah.
They're normal and healthy, so I don't know what to say to that.
Cool.
Anyways,
thank you.
I'm glad we do this show. I'm really glad that everyone on the internet gets to hear all of this and our little pre-show discussions that just get better and better every week, actually. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's I don't want to. It sounded like you guys had uneventful weeks, or maybe there's something really important that you guys need. I don't know, that you guys want to talk about. I don't know. Now I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know about you, Zorine, but now I feel like maybe there is something going on with Rod.
Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? I'm looking around.
This podcast is just degrading. Oh my god. Not degrade, deteriorating. Anyways, not the point. Anyway, I actually did go to an esports event this past weekend. I went to the Blast Pro Series in Los Angeles, which was a CSGO tournament.
I saw that.
Oh, I think I saw the photo on your story at Team Zorine on Instagram.
Smooth.
And I believe the caption on the photo I saw said, oh my god, the players are so close, or something like that.
It's true, though.
Would you like to explain the meaning of this story, Zorine?
Yeah, so usually, CSGO being a very popular esport, the majors have the players usually placed on a big stage very far away from the audience. So if you want to go and watch these tournaments, you normally don't get a chance to see, your favorite CSGO players or teams or whatever, like remotely close to them. It's very much, it's like they're up there and the audience is over here, right? So it was cool that Blast Pro Series had what they were marketing as a more intimate setup for this CSGO tournament, where literally the crowd was like right up against like the desks and the setups where the teams were all playing. So I thought that was a cool like little difference. I know some people were complaining about it on social media. I saw like some people weren't fans of it. I could see why. It kind of takes away the whole grandeur, like the grand spectacle of a CSGO tournament when you expect it to be like the finals day of Evo. It's like that for every CSGO major, or like even like not even major, like premier tournaments have that kind of setup where the players are all the way on their stage and you, the spectator, are all the way in your seats in like the general viewing area. So Blast Pro Series kind of took a step back and made it feel like a more intimate event. It was hosted in what was, I believe, a warehouse of a furniture store normally.
It was hosted inside of a fucking furniture store. This is not like some unique idea.
Yeah.
It looked so stupid.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not blowing it up to be like, oh my god, this is genius. This is the greatest marketing thing ever. Like clearly they moved the venue because they didn't sell enough tickets or some issue came up, because originally was going to be at the Galen Center, which I believe is at USC or UCLA. I don't know. Some USC, UCLA students probably really hate me for that. But yeah, so it was like a step back. And for me, like, I just enjoyed it. You know, like I enjoyed it after going to so many CSGO events. I really enjoyed the more intimate setup.
Okay. Sounds.
Yeah. Honestly, look, Zorine's reasoning for the more intimate setup is just an excuse because they didn't sell enough tickets, and the event didn't nearly do as well as they thought it would, and that is why it was inside of a fucking furniture store. And the Blast Pro Series, the people that are running these Counter-Strike events, have reportedly been trying to monopolize the Counter-Strike scene in this last year, where they have signed exclusive contracts in most of the teams for those teams to pick Blast Pro Series events over other events like ESL and DreamHack, and that has gotten them into a lot of drama within the Counter-Strike community for being like, you know, remember when fighting games and MLG was coming around? The fighting game community was very worried about MLG trying to bully their way in. It was a pretty similar story at Blast Pro Series, having a rather new brand compared to ESL and DreamHack, which have been around for 15 years in the Counter-Strike scene, who are now trying to come in, throw money at the teams, have the teams exclusively go to the Blast Pro Series events instead of going to those other events. And now they've had 2 events in America, one in Miami, which I believe was not that great, and this LA one, which is obviously less than stellar. Whatever big plans they had for a huge LA Counter-Strike event with a lot of people showing up did not happen, or even close to. I don't believe they put the event yet to make it like a more closed, sincere setting. It was definitely because they didn't sell jack shit for tickets, and this is kind of like a scramble at the end to try to not make it look so disastrous, even though that is my takeaway from how the event went.
So they're new?
They're new. I would say maybe 2 years old, a year and a half now.
Okay. So just want to point out we are aware of the camera issues in XSplit right now, and we're working on it. Meanwhile, you'll get to see my face in reaction to everything that Gootecks and Slash are saying.
There you go. There you go, Zorine.
Wait, Zorine.
Live reaction cam.
Zorine is so good at turning a negative into a positive.
That's glass is half full, right, everyone?
The glass is half full.
Seasonal activity or something, so it doesn't affect her emotions. This definitely seems like a reasonable and rational thing to do. I highly advise everyone in chat, get your PogChamps in chat for removing part of your eyeball. That is how you go about things, obviously.
I like it. All right. Well, yeah, way to turn a negative into a positive. It's unfortunate that people really sort of overestimate the true reach in esports, especially in a place like LA, which I think has proven itself to be, you know, quite popular for, you know, League of Legends, and, you know, obviously FGC's always had a large presence in SoCal, but Counter-Strike, maybe not so much. All right. What did I do this weekend? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I just hustled. There was no time to go to esports events because the road to EVO 2019 is coming to its last legs on this road. Going to be getting on the far right lane to exit soon. The final registration numbers are in. In probably no surprise to anybody, Smash Ultimate comes in at number 1 with 3,492 entrants, making it the largest Smash tournament ever, I believe. Wow. And followed a distant second, Street Fighter V, coming in at 1,929 players. the Street Fighter community proving that tournament standard time is still a thing, because I think everybody waited until about 7:56 p.m. To register, putting Tekken at a close third at number 3 with 1,885 entrants, with number 4 being Samurai Showdown coming in at 1,719 entrants. I don't recall how many they were at last year, but after they made that announcement, sort of bolstering the prize pool with an extra $30,000, it seems like it really made an impact. And then Mortal Kombat, Eunice, Dragon Ball, Soul Calibur, and Lil Old Blaze Blue at 640 entrants. Quite the turnout, probably. I mean, not probably, but making this Evo the biggest one yet. Mm-hmm. And it's shaping up to be quite the year.
I almost want to go. Well, I do want to go back and listen to that show where we made predictions, and I think we said some particular things about Mortal Kombat in specifically, and how we thought the number of entrants would do. I can't remember what predictions we each made. Do either of you remember?
I couldn't tell you, but I think we all thought Mortal Kombat was going to be bigger or hotter or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Way better than doing.
Yeah, and we were way off base. I think this is probably a strong indicator that generally people have not stuck around with the game, and whatever sort of additional boost the Mortal Kombat Combat League, whatever they were expecting, didn't really happen. So unfortunate, but I think that's. I mean, it's good for for Samurai Showdown, that's for sure.
Yeah, I never could have
taken that spot.
Never could have predicted that Samurai Showdown would get more entrants than Mortal Kombat at Evo this year, especially this being the first Evo for the new Mortal Kombat game.
Well, I think timing is everything also.
That should happen. I mean, honestly, Mortal Kombat, considering how good MK11 as a game is, honestly, and the community seems to be so hyped, and the NRS community has someone like Sonic Fox who's turned into like a legitimate superstar, and not just in esports, like on like social media in general, I would have definitely thought Mortal Kombat would have done better than it has. And Samurai Showdown, it has like a cult following and like, a good amount of people online, but it's still generally an indie game that is kind of somewhat
indie
come out.
Game. Definitely not an indie game.
Well,
it's an SNK title, Rod.
Yeah, it's not AAA backed.
Samurai,
like, it doesn't have the budget that NRS has to make Mortal Kombat. Okay, it doesn't have the fucking budget that Capcom
100%.
has to make Street Fighter. Right.
That's true.
So the amount of entrants the Samurai Showdown is gone is still really impressive considering the competition that they have in other games.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that is due to timing too. I mean, Mortal Kombat, they started the hype train early with the reveal event in January, and then the game came out in April, I think, early April. But the Samurai Showdown came out like less than a month ago, so I think they're riding that release wave plus that extra boost of the pop bonus, and that seems like made most of the difference. Be interesting to see the stats on Steam, but every now and then there's like those stats that get posted on the. It's usually like the fighters subreddit that sometimes has like these monthly Steam fighting game Steam player base tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
what the hell's with these animals? Oh my god. This is not the game that I thought Samurai Showdown was.
What? Zorine? Really? You didn't play that? Well,
I haven't played it yet.
I don't blame you. Samurai Showdown, as far as I'm concerned, was here it is. Steam charts fighting games. Steam charts. I don't blame you, Zorine, because this might have been before your time. Plus, you're from down under, so I don't know how much is spread over there. But as far as I'm concerned, Samurai Showdown was the last iconic fighting game franchise that hadn't been resurrected in the modern era. There you go, Nico. I just put the link to the Steam charts, the most recent Steam charts that I could find, anyways. July 4th. So if you look at it, Mortal Kombat is leading the way ahead of Tekken with a 30-day average of 2,916 players, followed by Tekken 7 at 2,231 players, and a distant third, Street Fighter at 1,126 players, which means the 30-day average I take to mean the amount of players that are playing per day. And it looks like there's also on the 30-day percentage gain. Mortal Kombat had a very steep drop-off of 46%. Tekken had a slight increase at 3%. Street Fighter holding basically steady at minus 0.8%, and Dragon Ball dropping 26%. So to me, this is an indicator that people are sticking with Tekken and Street Fighter consistently and dropping Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball like a bad habit.
See, a problem with Dragon Ball. I mean, we've talked a lot about the issues that Mortal Kombat has had retaining players here, but what do you think the issues are with Dragon Ball?
Same shit all games run into. The vast majority of the people who play the game are just, they're just casual players, just wanted to check out the game because they love Dragon Ball, or they played Mortal Kombat when they were younger. But the reality is that most people don't stick around due to a number of different factors. People get bored, or the game gets hard, or they don't know how to improve, or their friends stop playing, or a new game comes out and they get distracted. So there's a lot of reasons why retention is low. And, I think the fact that Street Fighter and Tekken are holding steady speaks a lot to, those games and the player base, even though the player base is lower and also probably has dropped off significantly since both of their releases. But Tekken, holding super steady. And the other thing I think that we can sort of extrapolate from these numbers is that based on the EVO registration numbers, that to me is a clear indicator that there are a lot more casual Mortal Kombat players at this point. But I guess it is kind of apples to oranges because both Street Fighter 5 and Tekken 7 have been out for years at this point, whereas Mortal Kombat just came out this year. So that's why the 30-day average is so much bigger. But I think it speaks a lot to the popularity of Tekken and the players who are taking it seriously, because it's right up there with brand new Mortal Kombat.
This is just the stats coming from Steam charts, right? We don't know if Mortal Kombat their community, as someone mentioned in the chat, is more active on console. Dragon Ball, same deal. I imagine Dragon Ball has a larger PS4 community.
True.
But I would like to take this opportunity to highlight that Tekken's registration at EVO has just gone up year over year since it was first introduced to EVO, and that now it stands at almost toe-to-toe with Street Fighter. The maths is there's only 40-something registrations in between Street Fighter and Tekken now, which is amazing to me and makes me very happy.
Just shows the stark contrast between the release of Tekken 7 and the release of Street Fighter 5, and how the quality is such a difference that it really does show and how the games have evolved. There's a reason that Tekken has almost matched Street Fighter, where you could say that Street Fighter had beaten Tekken in entrance for like forever in the West. I don't think Tekken had ever beaten Street Fighter and the amount of people that went to tournaments, maybe except for Final Round, which is always like the home of Tekken in North America. And that really to see it so close as it is and Tekken beating out Street Fighter in many tournaments, I think shows us how well that they've put together the new game in the series and cultivated the series so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a lot that can be learned from not being the first mover in the space, let's say. I mean, Capcom now for 2 different generations of fighting games has been essentially first to market with Street Fighter 4, jump-starting an entire genre that was essentially left for dead, and then did the same thing with Street Fighter 5, which obviously had a immeasurable amount of problems associated with the launch, whereas Tekken had that time to not make the same mistakes. And I'm pretty sure Tekken 7 was already in the arcades for quite some time before they ported it to console.
Yes, 2 years, in fact.
Yeah.
So that's why Korean and Japanese players had a head start.
Yeah. Whereas Street Fighter was basically brought to life at the same time, and there was no arcade release until years afterwards. So that's unfortunate. The other thing I've heard is that anecdotally that people consider the Tekken 7 PC release to have a lot better netcode. So that could be one of the reasons why it's so much higher on PC than Street Fighter versus like the registration numbers. But I think what it just comes down to is, for the most part, most people are casual players that play for fun. And, as a casual player, you're always going to be attracted to whatever the latest shiny video game object is. So, yeah, I just wish there was a Samurai Showdown PC release. That's what I'm waiting on. Yeah. All right. Any other Evo stuff going on? I feel like that's pretty much it. Okay, moving on. Esports Insider is reporting that 100 Thieves is closing $35 million in their Series B funding round. These guys, New York-based investment management company Artist Capital Management led the round with John Dienstag, its chief investment officer. So it sounds like this guy brought the money with him. And yeah, I don't know. These guys are so hot right now, I guess.
Yeah, I bet you that they're opening, like, in their deck, the opening slide has a picture of Drake or something, right? Like, that's probably the way they're selling it.
I would love to see the 100 Thieves deck. Actually, if this is just sort of a general call, if anybody wants feedback on their deck or has somebody else's deck that they think is interesting in the esports ecosphere, feel free, hit up good old Gootecks, and I would love to take a look, because I actually find I don't know about you, Zorine. I'm sure Slasher would agree, but I love looking at other people's decks. Decks on decks.
Yeah, me too. I love just decks stacked on top of each other.
Yeah. Big decks, little decks, thick decks, smaller decks. It doesn't matter. I love me some decks.
Opportunity decks.
What kind of deck?
Opportunity. We love all shapes and sizes of decks.
Oh yeah, equal opportunity deck enthusiast.
You got that new system? Okay, great. So
maybe not yet. No, not fully.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I think this would be a good time to bring back our idea of the esports bubble graphic that we had before, because this kind of just like adds to that, right? This news.
Esports Bubble Watch 2019 continues. $35 million dollars and 100 Thieves are just like just adding like two small breaths. You know, you got to be careful. It's kind of like when you're playing Jenga and you don't want to like pull out that wrong piece, right? They're just like sort of blowing into this bubble, but not enough.
I don't know. I feel like this was like one of the crazy ones where someone was like, "Nah, I'm gonna pull this piece out that really looks like it's about to knock things into like, get things moving."
This was me.
I mean, 35 million. I think that's one of the bigger ones that we've heard about and covered on this show, right? If not, what was the?
I don't know. It's hard for me to keep track. Zorine, you're on investment watch. That's me and Rod. That's above our pay grade. So I personally, there's so much money coming into all of these esports organizations, and none of it comes down here to the PGC. So, sorry, the poverty game community. So it's hard for me to keep track because my Microsoft Excel running on Windows 95 spreadsheet doesn't have that many zeros. It can't accommodate that many digits.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, it's this should not be a surprise for anyone. 100 Thieves really has done the best in terms of merchandising for an esports organization. That has been one of the extreme weak spots in the entire industry, where traditional sports teams are making $40 on every jersey that's sold, and there's like millions of jerseys being sold, and esports merchandise has been traditionally fucking terrible. But 100 Thieves has been able to brand itself as like a streetwear brand where everyone is clamoring for white fucking hoodies that have 100 Thieves logos on them, like it's fucking supreme. And they really have done such a good job of making the 100 Thieves merchandise stuff to be like a premium brand for them. And I think that's been very difficult that most esports orgs haven't been able to do. Two, of course, are affiliated with people like Drake, which give them all types of fucking star power all the time. We have people writing about them all the time because people suck the dick of Drake all the time. And three, they've done a very good job of bringing on pretty large influencers. It also helps that the CEO and founder of the company is Nadeshot, and endemically he brings with him millions of his own fans to the industry. And we've seen that with other teams, but Nadeshot has definitely had one of the largest personal brands to bring with him to launch the team. All these things together are, part of the reason why 100 Thieves is able to do this now. That's why they're able to raise this much money in this short of a time and do what they have, is because they have some unique things that no other esports org has been able to replicate or match this far. Even though 100 Thieves is a pretty new organization, it's only been around for a little over a year now.
Wait, so I don't get it. What you're telling me is that esports jerseys of the big esports teams aren't flying off the shelves? Is that what you're saying?
I got fucking 20 in the back. I got jerseys in the back of all my favorite players over here, but
wow, 20.
I'm one of the rare few, I got my old school 2001 boxer jersey. I got my my old school 2003 Fatality CZM jersey. But I don't get this new shit, okay? I'm all about that old school stuff. Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? Props to them for. I mean, it's so fucking painfully obvious when you have to think creatively about how to monetize. It's not rocket science that you should try to make apparel that looks good, not focused on making apparel that you legitimately expect people to wear out in public. I swear to God, I had a conversation with somebody that was wearing a jersey, and I don't remember the team, but I was looking at him and talking to him because I thought he must be somebody. And then when I brought it up, he was like, Oh no, like I'm just wearing it, and I didn't want to be rude, but I just had to walk the fuck away because that was just a level. It was just a level I didn't know existed.
This is what we're supposed to have gotten to, Gootecks, where if you see like an esports jersey, it's not automatically the player on the fucking team. It's actually a fan who likes the player that we all like. That is supposed to be the evolution of this industry to get to that point where fucking fans are actually buying.
I totally get that. It's just that part never crossed my mind. Because it is a far likelier.
2019, Mr. PogChamp, we are doing the official esports show here. if you're not aware, okay, we definitely have gotten to that point.
It is a
Mr. Hollywood over there. You should have realized this. You should be walking down the streets in Koreatown, seeing all those jerseys everywhere.
I mean, there are a few teams who have reached that kind of like status, right? I think it's like Cloud9. If I see Cloud9 jersey in the wild, I'm not that surprised anymore, to be honest. And 100 Thieves stuff as well. But outside of those teams, probably, and maybe like one or two others, that's it, right?
Congratulations, everybody who sells these jerseys, who buys these jerseys. Congratulations for setting an entire industry back years. It's just not there yet, and it's not hard, in my opinion, to create compelling designs that, convey the message of the brand that don't get you made fun of by the outside world. It's just not that hard. And hey, you know what? Props to 100 Thieves for getting that $35 million that's actually based on sales and substance of physical products and a brand that people like. Awesome. You know what? I take it back. They actually deflated the bubble a little bit.
On all honesty, yes, 100 Thieves has been a very good thing for the industry. They really have been able to bring in some star power that I don't think we would have seen without them. And if there's any brand that you trust that won't die, they're definitely up there in terms of never dying anytime soon. And I think
my jersey, or I guess not my jersey, but my hoodie purchase is safe.
Yes, it's actually going to go up in value.
Yeah, I've seen on StockX 100 Thieves like merchandise, because it's kind of hard to come by. It is being resold on like secondary markets for higher prices than retail. So they're like coveted goods now.
Yes, you hear that, PGC? You trying to make that esports money? You need to get that 100 Thieves merch and hold it and then sell it. That's the strat. I like that. That's something. That's where the PGC can really benefit from esports.
I mean, they're going to have to. It's not like a Street Fighter player is going to be assigned to the team anytime soon.
Hey, that's everybody is going to figure it out at some point. It's just not necessarily going to be anytime soon. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, Rod, for those of us that live and die by the PGC, I think of this as a head start, so I don't mind.
Well, okay, I'm glad you don't mind. For your fellow poverty fans over there.
Hey, Rod, like it or not, but you too are part of the PGC, right?
For now.
You trying to tell me that Tetris in a browser isn't the very definition of poverty?
Whoa. That is fucking elite gamers, okay? Elite gamers play Tetris in a browser. Okay, none of that Tetris effect bullshit. None of that Epic Store bullshit nonsense here. Okay, we play in free browsers for everybody, not locked behind a store. Not how we do things here.
So then why isn't browser-based Tetris passing the poverty game community in terms of overall player base and prize money. Oh, that's right, because you're fucking poverty.
Your
Okay,
games
got it.
combined. You need all of your games combined, okay? Tetris has as many games as the entire fighting game community does, okay? All the Tetrises put together and fucking destroy, absolutely dominate the PGC. I don't even think it's a comparison. Sorry. Just can't imagine.
So what's the prize money looking like on the last Tetris, browser-based Tetris tournament?
You're right. We should go on to the next topic. I definitely agree with you. That's a very strong recommendation there. That you're right. It's a good thing. PogChamps in chat, everybody. PogChamps in chat for what he is saying right now. Everyone agree. I definitely all agreed. Yes. That was the question, right? Yes.
All right. Well, I mean, I just
get your retweets, get your shilling on. We are sponsored by Blue Microphones or some stupid shit. I think they gave me this, and I'm using it. The other ones have broken. The other Blue Microphones that I bought my own money are broken without me doing anything. So I'm hoping the one that they sent me doesn't break. So thank you, Blue Microphones, for this thing that I've used and bought with my own money. But now I have, and it's going pretty well so far. And I just want to say,
you sound great.
Yes, I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
How rare.
All right. Moving on. Fox Watch 2019. For those of you guys that have not been following the epic story of the alleged racist stakeholder within Echo Fox's parent company, there is a new development. LOL Esports, the official Twitter account of League of Legends, says, quote, on May 15th, the LCS directed Echo Fox to take appropriate corrective action within 60 days to remove those individuals whose actions have violated league rules and agreements. Based on our ongoing discussions with Echo Fox, we are extending our deadline for compliance by 7 days from yesterday. Wow. Really firm stance here.
Yeah, is it actually going to work if they've been delayed for months already?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It could be one of those things where they're like, well, the contracts have been sent out. We're just waiting to hear back. Checks in the mail. This dude's on his way out. Just please, just give us a little bit more time. And then Riot's like, the two mafia dudes come to the door with a bat, and they're like, all right, 1 week, Echo Fox.
What's happening here, Amit Rosada has not made it easy to remove him from the organization. After all the texts and messages have come out, including him making anti-Semitic slurs, making slurs against black people and the N-word, and if he's still not been able to be removed, then obviously it is not going to be an easy process. I am not totally sure on the most recent updates, but obviously, because of all the press and attention this got, Riot does not want him to be in of the league. So Riot is trying to accommodate Rick Fox as much as possible for him to, speed up the efforts to get rid of Amit Rosada. But if it hasn't happened by now, you have to be a little bit concerned with them maybe not being able to. And if Echo Fox and Rick Fox is not able to remove Rosada by the 7-day extension, you have to think that Riot has no choice but to penalize or remove Echo Fox entirely from the league, even if they wanted to help Rick Fox out and they wanted this entire thing was to assist Rick in the removal of Rosada. But if it didn't happen by now, unless Riot knows something that we don't and they're really confident in this 7-day extension, it seems more on the outside this is just kind of like a hope and a prayer from Riot giving Rick some extra time here to make this shit fucking happen. And if they don't, I think Riot's hands are going to be tied in what they have to do as punishment for the team.
What would you imagine that punishment could entail? Like, do we see Riot take away their franchise spot? Because that would be absolutely wild at this point, especially given where we are in the season, everything that's happened, them establishing themselves. Like, that would be unprecedented and crazy.
Well, I mean, the other thing they could do is, of course, fine the team and penalize the team. I would think that would seem to be the approach that they'd go in. One, do you remove a franchise spot that was paid for with $13 million because of one of the investors said some fucked up shit to another owner on the organization? I don't even know if Riot could legally do that based on the contract. I'm not even sure if that's an option. Due to the circumstances, it feels like Riot would just penalize the organization as a whole. I don't know if removal from LCS would be a really fucking big deal. I don't know if they would do that. One, if they legally could. Two, it's not like Equifax violated league rules in a big way. Mm-hmm. They just had an internal problem, which is spilled over into the real world, which was what forced Riot Games to act in the first place. And if they removed Equifax and LCS, all they would be doing is punishing Rick Fox, which is the person they've been trying to help in the situation to start with. And they really want Rick Fox in the league. Obviously, I think all things considered, everyone agrees Rick Fox has been a big positive for esports as a whole, as a representative, for him talking, his relationship with his son, and everything they've built. They want to keep Equifax in there. I feel like they would just have to. I think they would penalize and fine Equifax a very large amount. That is my best guess.
I think that clearly they didn't. I think maybe Riot and Equifax underestimated the difficulty that they were going to have in removing Amit Razada from the parent company. So now they've essentially backed themselves into a corner by making it public. I mean, I don't really understand. I don't know if it was it doesn't seem like it was advantageous now to have made it public that they were demanding Equifax to take action. And so it seems like maybe they didn't quite understand how difficult the removal would be, because maybe they don't actually have any grounds to do so. I mean, how many, I don't know if the Equifax or the parent company's, contracts would have included something about, internal racism in it. Maybe that'll be included in all future contracts, but probably was not in this one. So it sounds like Amit Razada maybe is either trying to try to take everybody down with him in the event of Riot removing Equifax from LCS, either permanently or for like a season, or he is holding out for some sort of deal or some sort of, I don't know, whatever the equivalent is of a golden parachute when you're like an investor in one of these companies. Mm. But now it's kind of a PR nightmare in the making. Or sorry, I guess the nightmare continues, I guess.
Shout out to Mr. Black DDK, James Bardolph, in the chat. What's going on, James?
I don't know if he's still there. But
did he leave? Did James leave?
You got sick of our shit.
We could only hold people's attentions for maybe 5 minutes, so it wouldn't be so surprising. But I think maybe part of it could be. I think you could be right, Mr. PogChamp, in that. Definitely Rick Fox was trying to, there was a reason like him and Jace Hall leaked these messages intentionally to, obviously Amit Razada said some fucked up shit. And I don't feel bad for him at all. He is a piece of shit in this entire situation. But obviously I think these messages were released to show all this. And there was a concerted internal effort to get rid of Razada. And maybe, yeah, looking back at it, that all of this was orchestrated to put as much bad press and negative press on Rosada as possible to help their case in removing him. And still, even with all of that, they're not able to remove him. And it's actually going to backfire that because there was all this mainstream press that was involved, this is the reason that Riot got involved in a higher level. And this is the reason that Riot has put their stipulations to begin with. If this is held and this is done internally, Riot probably would not have made such a strong public statement if all of this media and attention didn't come out to begin with. So because they did, they might have even put themselves in a bad position at the very end if they're not able to resolve this.
Well, remember our original conspiracy theory was that Rick Fox was looking for an out and a reason to sell his company, and that originally his statement was like, it's either like he goes or I go type situation. So now it's kind of shifted from that to Riot's putting this onus on them that, oh, it's your responsibility to remove this guy.
And, the thinking about, I don't know, corporate structure, it's unlikely that this sort of decision would be made by an entity other than, let's say, the board of directors of the parent company of Echo Fox. What is it? I forget. Vision Venture. Yeah, Vision Ventures.
Vision Venture Partners.
So,
sorry.
I don't know how many people are sit on their board or who that is, but it could be a possibility that the board has either not voted to remove him or has either voted against removing him for some reason that we don't know, or has yet to vote on removing him. So it could be one of those things where he has more leverage within the organization than, I don't know, other people were led to believe or sort of underestimated. But maybe hey, maybe they voted right now, and we're going to get some sort of, late night update. Oh, good news, guys. We got rid of him. Hey. Save the day.
Can you imagine that announcement?
Well, I'm pretty sure they already got the press release written. Some PR dude had this thing written months ago. All right. Well, Foxwatch 2019 continues. Let's talk about. Do you want to talk about Overwatch League first? Because I feel like this.
And we're going to leave the last one because it ties into the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're going to leave it for last. So we're going to talk about Overwatch League.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So this Overwatch League officially announced that they're going to be changing the way that 2020 season is going to be working. These are things that I have been hearing, from sources for at least a month or so. So this is not something that is new. This is not something that has been newly introduced by the new commissioner, Pete Vasquella. These were things that were changed while Nate Nanzer was still the commissioner for Overwatch League, which is information that I can give in this situation. And that is that the Homestead events that they have done in Dallas and in Atlanta were test runs for how the season is going to go for 2020. That was not the initial plan. The initial plan, as we've even discussed on this show, was for them to host maybe 8 or 12 home games for next season. Instead, they're going to be hosting up to a max of 5 home games in each of the cities, except each of these events will now be bigger instead of these smaller scale events that they were going to do before, which they're going to be more of. So instead of having 12 smaller events, they're going to have 5 bigger events in each of the cities for the year. Okay. Now, they did also announce, I believe, that there was some cut. They did make some type of cut in the announcement. I'm forgetting what it was. It did seem like it was an effort to save money, and it does seem like on the surface that this is definitely them pulling back. This is them admitting to themselves that they were not going to be able to sell out or even come close to sell out 8 to 12 home events in all these cities, and realizing that it would be much easier for them to at least try to sell out bigger venues with a smaller amount of events and probably have more success. Even if they don't fully sell out a bigger venue, they'll still have way more people out there, and it'll look better on broadcast, especially when they start streaming the games to begin with. So I definitely will say this is not exactly a very good look towards Overwatch League next year, considering their initial plans. But I gotta say, and Brian, Mr. PogChamp here is gonna, insist I am the Overwatch shill. I do think this is the good decision here. I mean, considering if they would have kept going on the path that they would, I don't think that those events would have had the amount of people that they would have. And these homestand events that they had in Dallas and most recently in Atlanta actually went pretty well. The Dallas venues were packed, and we talked about it before, how many things were given away for free, but it doesn't seem like that much. And for the Atlanta venue, that was pretty packed in there as well, and it doesn't seem like tickets were given away for free at a low cost, which is why people were there. People were actually paid like decent prices. So from what we've seen, I do think the changes make sense going into the first year of localization, but it is definitely should be seen as a pullback for what the initial larger plans were going to be for next year.
Well, I mean, it's thinking about what, 8 to 12 events that were smaller versus the 5 larger events. It may not make that much of a difference in terms of budget, but I can see how that would make a difference on, when it's streamed. It sounds like somebody over there has finally sort of pulled their head up and just stopped smelling their own shit for a while to really look at look at the facts, which is that either esports as a whole is not there, or people don't care as much about Overwatch League as investors who bought franchise spots for $25 to $40 million were led to believe. And it's probably better to get a couple of, I won't say big wins, but like not terrible failures under the belt when it comes to these homestead events, because maybe they can spend more money on marketing and focus on fewer events. But if we had some sort of esports bubble watch, I would reinflate it a little bit after 100 Thieves sort of brought it down.
You say this move is lowering expectations and would be the right decision to make so that the bubble would reduce and not grow larger? If they kept the same plan, don't you think that is why the bubble would be big? And this is them reassessing that they probably can't sell as many tickets as they want to?
That does not really have an impact on the bubble getting closer to popping. It's their decision. What they did in that situation, in my mind, doesn't make a difference. It's just an indicator that the bubble is closer. That the bubble is closer to bursting because people are like, "Oh wait, What they decide to do about it, that doesn't really have an impact, in my view.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, because you're saying that the perception of esports is matters more than what they're actually doing, and in a lot of ways, yeah, I can kind of agree with the perception of most things matters more than the actual things that are happening here. But considering we're the insiders, I mean, we got to look at Blizzard probably making the right decision here for the longevity of the league. And as you say, it will reduce the amount of failures that they have potential for next year. And the less amount of failures and the more potential wins or big wins, the easier it's going to be for 2021, 2022 than if they went out big in 2020 and failed miserably. That would be a much worse look than the kind of safer route that they're going to go now.
Well, remember, this might be a safer route, but it's certainly nothing about this whole thing was the safe route.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, it still massively failed. There is still an option for now these bigger homestand events to not fill up and be like a half full arena in New York City playing like the Boston uprising, and a New York-Boston rivalry match with a half-full arena in a market like New York would look terrible for Overwatch League. So I think that is what they're trying to avoid, but obviously that scenario is still a real possibility.
I don't know. I feel like the perception of this kind of stuff does matter, though, because articles like this is like what brands and agencies in the space might be looking at and reading about, and that like they're using this to give them a sense of the market right now, right? So I think stuff like this does impact or have impact, just not like, not on the surface level. It just goes a little bit deeper than that. And on top of that, like, I feel sorry for the people who put all their bets on building arenas. Like, what's going to happen to the Fusion arena at this point? They're building like a $50 million, like they made announcements to build a $50 million arena. What's going to happen? They're scaling back on that. I'm sure that they spent months in approval to get that built already. And now they're only going to be hosting, 5 games a season or something? It's branded Fusion. Like, it's fully branded Fusion. The whole arena is branded that way. I don't know what they're going to do.
Oh, you do have to think that most likely they're going to be getting into Call of Duty as well. That they will have at least more than 5 games to play in the home arena. But I do think you're right. They were expecting there to be more Overwatch there for next year.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I can think of a very thriving, healthy community in that region, in Philly, that would love nothing more than a deal on a sweet venue, regardless of how it's branded. I mean, dude, I wouldn't care at all if I got a sweet deal on a venue like that. I'd be like, yo, hook me up. You can put whatever, you call whatever you want. Call it the Philadelphia Cheesesteak Dome for all I care. We'll definitely take that space and use it if you ain't going to. Don't you worry.
Yeah, but are you going to pay for the space? That's probably what they care about.
I'm just saying, I mean, think about it, right? Like, I mean, I'm not saying this is going to happen anytime soon, but I mean, on a long enough timeline, I mean, do you guys really think that they built this stadium only specifically to hold like Fusion Overwatch events? You guys actually think that it'll just be that and Call of Duty 7 days a week, 365 days a year?
Yeah, but
Seems
I also
unlikely to me.
That is true, but I also don't think they expect to make their revenue off community-run events either, to be honest.
Hey, it just depends on what you consider community and what you consider, like, I don't know, corporate esports. I don't know what you want to call it. But to me, if things are not going well, it doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is how many asses are in seats. And based on the amount of people that show up in that region to, like NEC and Summer Jam and the other biggie events, Winter Brawl, based on the amount of people that show up to his events, I mean, what separates community when times are tough because nobody's buying tickets? Who fucking cares as long as the bills are paid? But,
yeah, and I'm saying, like,
I'm sure that ain't gonna happen.
I'm saying they don't make the money off community, like buying tickets. Like, I don't want to get too off on a tangent of like this, but I think venues don't make their money from community members paying registration fees and entering. They make their money off like venue rental from publishers or other organizations doing white label events in their space.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying that, like, if you've got this big venue and things are not going well, it's just going to lead to more creative uses of the space, right, or it's going to get shut down because somebody's losing money. But I don't know. We'll see. This will be when. So this is for next year. Oh man! So we gotta wait till 2021 to make fun of this thing. Okay, I'll put it on my calendar.
We know, like middle of next year. Like, what is going on?
6 months, huh? All right.
I got 6 months to write good jokes about it. All right. So in big news to a certain group of people on the internet that I am not included in, Theoretical big news. Lil Nas X is headlining at TwitchCon San Diego. His Twitter says, catch my EP listening party and live announcement on Twitch with my Pokimane at 1 p.m. Pacific. Big news for fans of Lil Nas X. Normie boomers like myself, not terribly moved by this announcement, but I guess if it's a big deal to Pokimane, I guess it's a big deal to me. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel.
Well, Ryan, did you watch the stream live when it happened?
Oh, no, I definitely didn't, but I hear we got a blow-up of the week from it.
Right. Well, if you're not understanding what the announcement was, I think there was two things happening at once here. Basically, first, that they made their announcement that Lil Nas X was headlining TwitchCon San Diego, which itself is a cool bit of news. And the second thing was he was hosting an EP listening party in partnership with Pokimane on her Twitch channel at the same time. So they live streamed it, and it was, from the clips that I've seen, hilarious. It did not seem like he was familiar with the Twitch platform or understood how it works at all.
What? Really?
And yes.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so first off, I don't know any. Like I said, I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer normie, so you can't really expect me to like know what's going on with kids and what they listen to and whatever. But just looking at his profile photo, I mean, this dude looks of the demographic. You know, he's young. I mean, he looks like he's young to me. I mean, he's not, like an old dude. So what you're saying is that he didn't seem like he knew much about the platform or the event?
The platform, Twitch.
Huh. So what gave you that impression? Because I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I think they were trying to figure out how to make the stream play his music or something in a seamless way, and it was all just very awkwardly kind of...
Shout out to Beefuteki. Shout out to producer Beefuteki.
Beefoo was running the stream?
Beefoo was running the stream, yes.
Nice.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you are throwing shots at Beefuteki right now. That's what I want you to know.
I am not. I am
throwing
shots at Lil Nas not understanding, or Lil Nas X, not understanding how Twitch streams work.
Yeah, how could it be Beefuteki's fault? That dude does good work. It's not his fault, whatever talent does on camera. Ask Offcast and Nico if they feel any responsibility for the shit that we do on this show. They're gonna be like, no, why do I care? Yeah, I think that this was probably, it sounded probably like a very easy digital appearance for Lil Nas X to promote his new EP at a would seem like a really highly targeted, interested, potential new demographic for him, because it seems like it was on paper well received. What it seems like is that his management or record label sort of overestimated his interest in the platform and underestimated the importance of authenticity within this particular demographic or community.
Nobody gives a shit. I think Lil Nas X is such a huge star right now. His song is going to break the record for the amount of weeks it's been number one on the Billboard charts. It's 15 weeks in a row now. It needs 2 more weeks to break the record. He's already so like...
Wait, he's break the record for what?
For the number one song on Billboard, which is what everything revolves around in the music industry. So he's going to
telling me that. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just trying. You're breaking up, but I'm trying to understand what you're saying. You're telling me that in the history of Billboard charts, everything from Michael Jackson to the Beatles or Nirvana or whatever, none of that has ever. There's never been a single that has held steady on the Billboard singles chart, top 100 for 15 weeks, and that this dude is gonna be that dude.
He is going to be that dude. It is not a coincidence that he's released like 8 different remixes in the last few weeks for Old Town Road. This is all a planned
Ryan, you gotta listen to the song, man.
He's number one and he breaks the all-time record. It really is a truly incredible feat that he is doing, which is why that even though he doesn't play games and he like doesn't really use Twitch, it didn't really matter. Everyone fucking knows him and generally loves him and the song, and they don't give a shit that he might not be like a long time Twitch user. He got a ton of love when he was on the stream, and every single fucking streamer listens to the music and listens to his songs and fucking and wants to like meet him and everything. So for me, I don't even think, even though in 99% of other cases you would be right, the authenticity part definitely does matter, and them not knowing what is happening would be a big deal. But Lil Nas X is like a memer. He's like a professional fucking memer on Twitter. He's like a huge internet user. He might not be like a Twitch person, but he's not really a normie or anything. He's probably less normie than you are. He like memes all goddamn day. He put out an Area 51 music video already. He put it out an Area 51 music video in like a fucking day, okay? He really is like a meme god. It doesn't matter that he doesn't use like Twitch. He would fit right in spamming tryhard and chat along with everybody else. He'd be the one spamming tryhard in his own chat for his own stream. Like that would be something he would do. He's an honorary Twitch user in my eyes.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure him and his team are scientists when it comes to manipulating sales charts, doing things to drive traffic. His status as a meme lord is certainly not in question, although I don't know. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be him that's doing the memes. I mean, people definitely do have social media managers. That said, that's neither here nor there. Right. Okay. You're telling me this dude is sitting there, in Paint and Photoshop.
Do you know where he came from? He got popular because
No.
He used to run stan accounts for Nicki Minaj. He used to run a bunch of Twitter stan accounts for Nicki, and he was like the biggest Nicki fan club on Twitter. And all he used to do was make Twitter memes. And then he only started rapping like last year after he built up like a huge Twitter social media profile presence, because he was a tweet decker. And a tweet decker is someone that runs like a lot of accounts. Usually they're fan accounts of certain musical artists, and he did that with Nicki, and that's how he became popular in the first place. And
fucking
that
genius.
is how we got to hear. It was all based on his like social media presence.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I mean, whatever. I don't give a shit about the music, but that's neither art is subjective. That's neither here nor there. But that's pretty cool. And
so fucked over everyone that was really mad, which is really why everyone got behind him. His real rise to fame was that he released Old Town Road, and it was becoming popular on the Billboard charts. And then Billboard removed it from the country section because they said it wasn't country enough. And then the entire internet rebelled so hard that fucking Billy Ray Cyrus came on the song and like re-recorded the remix of the song with him on it, and then it blew the fuck up even harder. And then it's been number one since then, every single week on the country charts, along with the hip hop charts, I believe. And that is how it is.
Wait, hold on. That's a big fucking asterisk right there, bro. You said top 100 country.
No,
chart?
number one. No, it was originally, I believe, on the country charts, and then Billboard took it off because they said it wasn't country enough, and the entire internet rebelled. And then Billy Ray Cyrus decided to come on and work with Lil Nas X, and then they released a remix for Old Town Road with him back on it, and then it got reintroduced back on the country part of the Billboard charts, and now I think it's just Like, the way that they rank the songs is based on the amount of streams or plays. It doesn't matter what genre that you're placed in, but at the time, he did put himself into the country section, I believe. Now, I'm not sure if it's been in hip-hop or country or whatever. I think it hasn't really mattered at all. It doesn't matter for the overall rankings of where you end up as number 1 to 10 or whatever.
Genius. I'm impressed.
Yeah, did it for the culture.
Well, I don't know about that, but for
the internet
these guys
culture.
Yeah, super smart. Well, anyways, so he was clearly invested in TwitchCon and sort of doing all of these promotional strategies to get his EP listened to on Pokemane's stream. I'm sure that was super organic, but not gonna say that
super organic.
Yeah,
because I'm sure that's what they care about.
Yeah, not gonna say no hate though. You know, sounds like I need to get in touch with whoever his record label is, because these guys know how to cut checks.
I agree. They really do know how to cut checks.
Sorry, that was a shot at you, Slasher. Anyways, moving on to the blow up of the week. I think one of you guys should introduce the blow up of the week.
I'm gonna get this, but is the transition coming in? Do we have the blow up transition? Do we have our transition? Nico's asleep at the wheel. Blow up of the week. Oh, did they? Okay, great. Solomon should just introduce this blow up of the week that we have going. So I took a short video cut of the stream between Lil Nas X and Pokimane, and it was Pokimane asking Lil Nas if he had ever been to TwitchCon, and him responding about what he thought TwitchCon would be, and then Pokimane clarifying to him what TwitchCon will be. And let's play the clip for everyone out there. It's only about 15 seconds long. So it was, Pokemon asking Lil Nas if he's...
Wait, they're saying there's no audio.
Okay, let's try this again. Producer. Mr. Esports show producer, we need the audio. No. The camera went back to us. No, fuck us. Go back to the video. Go back to the video. Back to the video. Being told to wait. We're being told to wait. Chat. Get your weird chants in chat. Everybody, get your weird chants in chat. You are back now on my Twitter. You lost the tweet that I gave you. Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. Get your PogChamps in chat. Everyone cheer on our producer. He has got this.
Let's go, Nico.
Let's go, Nico. Let's go. Let's go, Nico. Let's go.
Get your PogChamps in chat. Nico's got this. Nico, pull that video up. Pull that video. You had the video before. I believe in you to play the audio of the video. Here we go. You've brought my Twitter back up again. You have the direct link to the video.
Oh my god.
I hope
poor Nico is gonna have like PTSD from this.
To the video. All right, Nico, look, Nico's got this, okay? He's new, okay? He needs some more time and experience. We are the world's best esports consultants. We are here to help him along on his journey, and I believe in him. I believe in you, Nico. I will never abandon you, okay?
Agreed. I mean, Nico's done it before. He could do it again.
Yeah.
talk show on the
Okay.
internet. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Let's do a
video-
dramatic
No. We are going to play the video on the show because this is what we can do in 2019. I believe we have the technology to play a YouTube video onto the stream for people to listen to. I know it. I've seen it. The entire, like, half of Twitch right now is just people's content, which is watching other people's content and commentating over it. That's like an entire shtick for a lot of streamers right now. I know if everyone else can do it, we can do it here too. Oh, I think we are.
All right. We got it.
Hear
Did
it?
it work?
Yeah, did it work? Do we have like a
Can
thumbs
chat
up?
confirm if it
Yeah,
works?
Can chat.
Okay, now
Our
Nico's asking us if
Producer is asking us if it has audio.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
chat. Please spam 1 in chat if it had audio, 2 in chat if there was no audio. Remember, okay, chat 1 if there was audio, 2 if there wasn't audio. If any of you are lying, I am perma-banning you from the channel forever. So 1, 1 yes.
You know what might be faster? What if I just screen share and play the clip with the audio into my microphone, and that way we can
Yeah, but why?
play it and then just move
why?
past this.
Yes, but why? No, this is a blow up of the week. The blow up of the week is actually our show trying to show this video.
This will be next week's
This
blow
is
up
so
of the
meta.
week.
This is the actual
Yeah.
blow up of the week.
Good news, guys. We got next week's blow up already covered.
Oh my god.
All right. Here. I'm gonna do this.
Audio. No audio.
I'm opening XSplit. I'm going to change the source. I'm going to turn my camera off, and then I'll play the clip.
You can just share screen in Skype. Like, that's so much faster.
Oh, okay. Well, the race is on, Zorine.
All right.
Oh, what the fuck? Did it really want me to...
I'd like to thank XSplit for... wait. I think we got it? Do we got it? I think it's happening.
Oh, they figured it out?
Maybe.
No,
Maybe.
that was me. That was me. I had it up already.
You have it. You have it. Okay,
Oh,
great job,
Okay.
Zorine.
All right.
You've done
I'll take it.
Zorine.
All right, Zorine. All right. You can do it.
All right.
TwitchCon is gonna be so fun.
I'm excited. Have you ever been?
Yeah. No, I just know like everybody gets together and do a lot of drugs. And it's gonna be cool.
Okay, I don't think there's any drugs at TwitchCon, but there is a lot of getting together, that's for sure.
TwitchCon is gonna be so fun.
There you have it, everyone. Boom.
So now that we've finally played it, congratulations. Thank you, Zorine. Thank you, producer Zorine. We have fucking done it. Technology on the internet. We have shown a goddamn video to everyone.
Wait. No, they're saying there was no video.
Oh,
What?
that's amazing. Oh, that's fucking amazing. Oh, goddamn, that's so good. I've actually
my
loved
God.
it. That's happened.
I was screen sharing. How was there no video? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
I don't think...
Press 1 if there's no video. Press 2 if there's no audio. Press 3
Oh my God.
if this whole show is a fucking clusterfuck. Please chat. 1, no video. 2, no audio. 3, we all suck major D. Just all of the D. Maybe not Zorine, but they're especially us two.
Here, check it. Are you screen? Is that you, Zorine? Are you screen sharing?
Screen sharing. I don't understand how that. If we just flip the camera. To
All right.
this-
Well, the definition of insanity
TwitchCon is gonna
is doing things over and over, expecting a different result. So let me try something different, and I'll pop this in desktop.
What do you mean?
To take
how-
this opportunity, take this opportunity to thank our producers and host XSplit for their technology in running stream software and helping the ease of use for showing technology off. This show is sponsored by and presented by XSplit. If you need to try to show a video on your stream, get XSplit because they will definitely be able to help you do that.
Do you know what
Probably.
it could be? It could be the Twitch
Probably.
conspiracy. Twitch conspiracy. Twitch is actually blocking our ability to show this clip where they look bad for promoting.
Right. The Twitch Illuminati. It's the fucking
Yep.
Twitch Illuminati.
for promoting bad things that happen at TwitchCon. Oh god, this is not what
TwitchCon's
I
gonna be so
expected.
fun.
I'm excited. Have you ever been?
Yeah. No, I just know like
Alright.
everybody gets
Okay.
together and do a lot of drugs.
I-
This is gonna be cool.
Okay, I don't think there's any drugs at TwitchCon, but there is a lot of getting together. That's for sure.
I feel like it should be okay. That's fine. I'll settle for the speakers. That would.
Not believe it. We have taken
This
10
kinda
minutes on
sounds so
showing
fun.
a
Here,
literally
here.
14-second
Bro.
Twitter
No, I just know
clip.
like everybody gets together
Look,
and do a lot of
I
drugs.
got you on the
This is gonna be
fucking
cool.
first try.
This
dude.
kinda gonna be
I
so
don't think there's
fun.
any drugs
I'm
at TwitchCon,
excited.
but
Have you
there's
ever
a lot of
been?
getting
Yeah.
together. That's for
No,
sure.
I just know like everybody gets together and do a lot of drugs. This is gonna be cool.
Okay, I don't think there's any drugs at TwitchCon, but there is a lot of getting together. That's for sure.
Was a success.
Okay, have we fucking done it, chat? Please press 1 if there was both video and audio on the fucking screen. Please, chat, press 1. Press 2 if you can shoot me in the face through the internet. Either would be good. You can hit 12. You can write 12. You can.
Oh, it looks
PogChamp
like we were
12.
successful. Yes, yes.
Oh, thank
yes.
God. Thank you. Praise XSplit and the streaming gods for.
But no
that-
props to me. I fucking did that.
Yeah, good job, Mr. PogChamp. PogChamp's in chat for PogChamp. Everybody, PogChamp's in chat. PogChamp's in chat.
All right.
Okay. So
Anyways.
now that we've shown the video, Lil Nas X that everyone was going to do drugs, and Pokimane made a joke that everyone gets together at TwitchCon, which is what how we know is everyone goes to TwitchCon to fuck. TwitchCon is a big sex festival, and orgies is the reason that pretty much everyone is attending. It's not the conferences. It's not the gaming. It's probably not going to be this Twitch music, the party with Lil Nas X playing. It is so that they could bone all day inside their hotels. They're used to just staying inside all the time, so this really just fits in with the culture that they have going on. So I made a tweet putting out this video, which took 15 minutes for us to play on this fucking show. And I wrote some emojis. I wrote the kiss emoji, the eggplant emoji, which is a penis. And I use a Canadian maple leaf because there is no 420 emoji on Twitter. Gootecks tells me that was a stupid emoji and that I needed to use a tree to best signify weed. I thought the maple leaf was an okay way to show weed. I'd like chat to answer us. Actually, would you put either the maple leaf or would you rather put the green leaf to represent?
Before they answer that, can I just say that one interpretation of this emoji is like to suck Canadian dick? That particular emoji sequence is what it says to me.
Well, excuse me
But,
of that then.
I'm just saying that would if I got that message from somebody, I would be like, oh, somebody wants to suck my Canadian dick, but I'm American, so I guess this is meant for somebody else. Anyway,
I never thought about it this way, and you might have convinced me. Might have convinced me.
Yeah. Well,
In any case, I made this tweet. I also made a tweet under it saying that this is what really happens at TwitchCon, and I would say you should play that video too if it wouldn't take another 15 minutes.
here, I got you.
It's right under it.
The average person, so I don't feel like many people could relate to me. I think of myself as like above the average person, so I don't feel like many people could relate to me.
Oh, that is a real video from last year's TwitchCon of a streamer on a panel at TwitchCon telling everyone how he's better than everybody. Obviously, he is a very sane and normal person, but that is actually what TwitchCon is all about. And anyway, these two tweets are supposed to be jokes. I think they're funny. Obviously, they are funny because I wrote them, and I am actually absolutely hilarious. But the actual blow up of the week is not these two videos. It is an email that I received which is from someone that I've known for a very long time. I will say this is a a decently high-level Twitch employee who's been at the company for a good amount of time now. And this person was very not so thrilled with my tweet, which was a joke tweet about Lil Nas X and Pokimane joking about sex and doing drugs.
Sex and drugs at
Which, by
TwitchCon.
the way, I don't think it was her intention. I don't think she was referring to sex at all. But go on.
Bless your
maybe
wholesome little heart, Zorine.
one, yes, if you don't think that Pokemon was talking about sex, you have not been having enough.
I honestly think she meant, where people go and like meet with other streamers and hang out with their friends and like have fun at TwitchCon. I honestly think that is what she means.
About.
We went through this. We talked about this before, and that's what I honestly think she meant.
Like everybody gets together and do a lot of drugs. And this is gonna be cool.
Okay, I don't think there's any drugs at TwitchCon, but there is a lot of getting together. That's for sure.
Getting together.
Yeah, like getting together with your friends.
That's for sure.
That sounds like the safest. That sounds like the safest, most PG rated way possible of saying there's a lot of people fucking.
I don't think that's what she meant. But I honestly don't think that's what she meant.
It's not even her that has said this. Everyone knows that people go to TwitchCon to bang. It's like a running meme at this point that everyone is going to TwitchCon to bang. Absolutely 100% Pokey is taking it or giving it or doing whatever, and she knows what is up at TwitchCon, okay? I'm in full belief of that. I feel
like I haven't been getting the full TwitchCon experience.
I know, for real. Honestly, if you were to be running the dating show at any place and location, Gootecks, it has to be at TwitchCon because this is when really people will utilize it the most.
I think that you might be onto something. Maybe I can. Yeah, maybe we can. Lil Nas X and Pokimane and partner up with his EP listening party or whatever the fuck they were doing. I forgot before.
Yeah, look, not everyone thinks the way you guys do about these things, but no, definitely not.
I am in full support of everyone banging at TwitchCon. I think that is really how the community gets to know each other. And that really builds stronger bonds within the gaming and esports world is if everyone is banging at TwitchCon. I mean, I've already seen people banging all the other esports events that I've gone to. So why can't TwitchCon be the pinnacle? BlizzCon has always also been a hotbed, literally, of good stuff happening every year. And TwitchCon is like that perfect replacement middle ground that everyone goes to with the knowledge beforehand that they're going to be bumping uglies sometime during the weekend. So I am really in full support of everyone expressing their inhibitions to the fullest. Let's not get me wrong here.
All right, so see you there or what? Or did you get permabanned from TwitchCon because of your totally insensitive tweet that you like to masquerade as a joke?
No, definitely not banned. By the way, I'm in full support of the message from both Lil Nas X and Pokimane. I will make sure that we are all doing drugs while we are fucking there. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. Okay, we're gonna be doing it while we're high. Okay, that's how things go at TwitchCon. Let's get to the actual blow up of the week, which is this message which I received from this top level Twitch employee after I made these two definitely extremely bad, god awful tweets making jokes about drugs and sex at TwitchCon. Now, who would like to read it? Should it be me, or does one of you want to take the honor? Maybe PogChamp.
I
go ahead, Ryan.
Because it's someone saying it to me. It feels like if I'm reading it myself, that it's not going to have the full impact of the words. I need someone reading it in the voice, to me directly.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wants to be yelled at, all right? Give him.
I want
what he
I want you to get inside their head too. I want you to really feel the emotion. Okay, I want you to like really become this person. What they said. All right, can you do
This
that?
would be a perfect thing for Lewis to read, by the way. But
Oh,
anyway.
would it? Would this be a perfect thing for Lewis to read?
Okay. Well, seeing as how Lewis has abandoned us, I think I have. Where is it?
It was linked in the. It's the
Oh,
imager. Wait, is that what
Oh.
we're showing? Are we going to show it
okay.
on the stream at the same time as you reading it and acting it out? I think we should.
I think we should. Yeah, that's why I put it there.
all right. Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. I'll do it. Don't worry. I think Nico's on lunch break over there. So let me.
All right. So context.
Here,
Anyone who's just joined, this is the message that Slasher received in response to him tweeting out this clip featuring Lil Nas X and Pokimane, and this came from a high-ranking person at Twitch.
highly inappropriate. Sorry, I'm just sort of putting words in. Okay. Dear Slasher. Sorry, that part I made up. About your post about Slasher. I mean, is this can you say whether or not this is like I mean, do I need a guy, like a male voice or a female voice? What is your preference on what you would like?
So whatever the fuck that you want.
Okay. About your post about drug use at TC TwitchCon. The only drug use I have ever seen at events is pot in your room and at MLG. So your post about drug use at TC is a bit hypocritical, don't you think? Yes, some bad things can happen everywhere, including Twitch and at TwitchCon. But focusing on outlandish statements that feed your hate and never acknowledging the positives is going to eat you alive someday. Please stop these hateful, twisted posts. You do a little, and maybe try to find some good things in life as well. You break my heart because I hate to see you so mean and spiteful, and invoking that hatred and spitefulness in others. I am not saying this because I love Twitch so much I cannot see the faults. I recognize the good and bad that happens when you have this large of a community. I'm saying this because I care for you and hate to see your bitterness. And also because TC, TwitchCon, is actually an amazing event that brings many of the community together each year. Myself and many here at Twitch love it more than anything. It is a true community program that helps us give back with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Let us have some happiness without seeing our friends twisting truths and bashing it. Slanty face without emoji.
I just want to say,
thank you.
Beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say the first thing, most importantly, we really need Gootecks ASMR.
Well, that I have a blue microphones baby bottle with an XLR jack on it. I can that takes phantom power. I can fully now pursue my ASMR career. Just let me know what you want to hear, and I got you.
So, if you want Gootecks ASMR, please PogChamp and chat. We are going to get you some Gootecks goodness. Everyone wants to listen to PogChamp when they go to sleep because they want a PogChamp in their sleep.
Honestly, if people just sent me their, the emails and DMs, there's no name. Yeah, you don't need to send me any names. But if people actually sent me those, I would read the fuck out of them. You got any more? You got any more of those DMs, Rod?
I have a lot of.
Y'all got any more of those? Of those angry DMs and emails?
From
Got a lot of
high-ranking Twitch
DMs.
employees.
Yeah, I do.
Those are the best kind of flavor.
Two, I just want to say, if that Twitch employee has to be listening, if you need some help with your grammar or your writing or your ability to spell, I'm more than welcome to edit your messages before you send them.
Wow.
To try to tell me how much you don't like me. Three, it is possible that I may have smoked marijuana before. You got me there.
You did not inhale?
I didn't inhale. I did not inhale. This person has backed me into a corner, though. I may have done some weed in my time. That is possible.
Wow.
Man.
You're out of control, man.
What sort of example are you setting for the esports youth, Slasher? I could not believe the sort of, gosh, just how terrible of a human and what a terrible person that you would be to be smoking pot in your room.
I know, like, who would be illegally smoking weed at TwitchCon hosted in California, which is definitely not a legal state for where that is. Like, who would do such a thing? I can't believe those criminals out there who are toking it up in their rooms, causing lots of problems for society. All those hateful, spiteful, angry potheads that we always talk about online, right?
Oh, those guys are the worst.
Every day.
Got him.
We're like, you know what? Alcoholics? Nah, fuck them. Incels who may or may not be murdering people on the internet? Nah. Those guys are cool too. Let's invite all of them to TwitchCon. We know they're in Twitch chat already. But you know what? Those fucking potheads. They're always doing fucked up things like ordering Doritos and Mountain Dew off our Twitch Amazon Prime store and ordering maybe $300 worth of stuff and not remembering what it is until 3 days later when it comes to their apartment. Those people are really the dregs of society. And we have to make sure that they are not involved in our pristine gaming community with only the most fulfilling and upstanding individuals in our space. And I'd like to thank that high-ranking Twitch employee for their care and effort into this situation. And I'd just like to say that they can go eat the biggest fucking dick possible.
Oh, well... I mean, here's the thing. It seemed like it came from a good place. I mean, somebody that took the time to write this very lengthy message chastising you for your illicit drug use and, defamation of the TwitchCon characters, so to speak. Sounds like it comes from a good place, but also maybe slightly misdirected in the sense of this was not even something that you were a part of officially. And I think that maybe some of that anger that this person felt about Lil Nas X and Pokimane, one or both of them, probably these concerns or that anger would have just gone into some PR, some publicist's inbox completely unread. So, this person probably was just, needed to get something off of their chest and knew that hitting you up in those DMs was the right place to do it.
Obviously, as we can see by this show, it worked out really well for them. So congratulations on those DMs. Really did a solid. Did me a solid.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think I would really enjoy reading mean tweets and mean DMs and Say No to Weave says new segment. Gootecks reads mean tweets. That's what's up.
Dear Lord, no. I don't understand where this Twitch employee's mind was going with this and why they chose to vent it out to you in particular, Slasher. I mean, the whole internet was watching this stream already anyway, so. And it's if it's, as you say, a high-ranking person from Twitch as well, I'm very confused about what the whole, was this message supposed to make you feel bad and stop you from making further tweets about the situation? Because that definitely is not ever going to happen.
That never works.
So,
Really bad right now. What are you talking about?
So yeah, I think maybe as Ryan or Gootecks suggested, it was probably them venting something, getting off their chest. It kind of felt like, as we were reading it, it felt like we were getting like stream of consciousness type like writing here.
Maybe this person was on some sort of substance, which would explain.
Plot twist.
I mean, you know how it's always like the super like conservative, like right-wing religious people that, you know, talk about how, you know, this particular element of society is bad, and then they're the ones that get caught with like hookers and blow in the hotel room that they booked with like taxpayer money.
Yeah, that's quite the analogy. It's perfect here.
Yeah. Or maybe they were just kind of upset and really didn't. You know, maybe I have a feeling that this person maybe was involved in the project in some way, and then caught some flack from some other high-ranking Twitch employee about this blow up, and you, Slasher, were the one to blame, because if it wasn't for you, they would have gotten away with it. But this sounds like the type of thing that was brought up at a meeting on Monday morning in a conference room in the Twitch Ivory Towers in San Francisco, and heads were about to roll.
Well, I feel really good about that then.
The world's #1 esports consultant, everybody, does it again. Congratulations. Good job, Slasher. I feel really, I mean, I don't really care at all about the blow up. I really don't see, I think this should be a lesson to everybody involved that was upset about that. That #1, you should probably not try to do these big promotional types of deals with people who don't give a fuck. And, you know, #2, everybody should just lighten up, because as wholesome Zorine saw it, Pokimane was just talking about hanging out with friends. So
yeah, no, you're right, totally right. How could I forget?
So, you know,
I stand by it.
So, you know, she's absolved of everything, and I think the real winner here is me, because I feel like now I got a new lease on ASMR life. I didn't know what I was gonna jumpstart my ASMR career, but I actually would really like to read mean things, or sort of not mean things, but, you know, the things that people get sent in their emails and their DMs. Yeah, feel free, send them my way. And
We should start like a fan mail segment where you read out like fan mail that we get for the show.
Well, that would be a very short segment of the show, right?
Exactly. We're gonna just put it in at the end. Just a few seconds. Be like, whoop, we didn't get fan mail this week, but thanks everyone for tuning in. Maybe we'll get some next week.
Bless your wholesome little heart, Zorine. I need to, you know, every time something doesn't work out or some terrible thing happens, I'm just going to think, what would Zorine do? What would Zorine think? All right, guys. Well, that took an unexpected turn for the better. Thank you guys so much. Thanks everybody for watching and listening and tuning in at home to the Untitled Esports Show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Zorine and Slasher, my two favorite esports veterans. Where do people go for more Zorine?
Oh, you can find me and my apparent positive attitude towards everything in life on Twitter at Zorine. That's at Zorine, and I almost forgot how to spell my own name for a sec. And I'm on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram as Team Zorine.
All right. And Slasher, where do people go for more hot takes and Twitch clips?
You can go to Slasher on Twitter and Slasher on all their places and Slasher on the internet, and follow Slasher and you'll probably get to me. Cool.
All right.
Cool.
And you can follow me at Gootecks, Instagram, Twitter, and everywhere internet is sold. And of course, shout outs to XSplit for helping to power this podcast. I think we're just going to have to cut the stream here. Nico's asleep at the wheel, but that's okay.
It's okay.
Live forever.
It's okay.
We're doing the show good anyway. It's fine.
Got the backup producer right here, so it's okay. Nico's out to lunch. Gootecks comes through in the clutch. No big deal. Thank you to XSplit for providing. And actually, fun fact, it was actually XSplit software that allowed me to do that so easily. So it worked again. And of course, and thanks to Blue Microphones for providing this sweet window into Gootex's new ASMR career and making Slasher sound somewhat tolerable. And I guess that's it.
Okay, cool.
So thank you, everyone.